Welcome. Anyway, I hope the quality is acceptable as far as transmission, no buffering, anything like that. I'm sure my guitar playing is just what it is, something you can either tolerate or you can't. Anyway, I'm going to put the fire out. exhaust an idea to death. And welcome everybody. I can't see the chat, unfortunately. I don't know if it's the rotation I have. Suppose I could be like a mind blown. Anyway, whew, I can see. Hello, Carlos. Anyway, thank you for joining me. Anyway, before I utter a burp of disdain or sadness over the world, might I like at least, not just like, but at least claim that there are still moments of life which can be good. So we'll have to cherish those and try not to get into the negative at all. The world around us didn't used to seem so negative. Perhaps it always has been. But meanwhile, we kind of have to watch it and maybe sit back and not participate as much as they would like us to. It's easy to get caught up in the wars and the political strife, and there's a price for paying your dues in the civilization we live in. If you want to play, then you're definitely going to pay. Otherwise, you're kind of like a native person who's like a spear and hiding from the civilization that's slowly, and that's one of the things that got me very early on in life. So I was like, wow, civilization is kind of like a little bit of a disease, and it's encroaching over every bit of natural habitat, something we used to get along with quite well. And so it's sad, of course, as people who relate with what you would call the native person before they were taken over and ruined by civilization. You can all slowly see it creeping up over us, engulfing what was once pristine world, right? Like the whole world was the Garden of Eden before we put in toilets and roller coasters and bank machines, tellers, ATMs. It's a price to pay for all of that. And it's a dirty world when you have all that luxury. One thing the pandemic proved is that you can never have enough toilet paper. I mean, don't you? Like a little doom entertainment before breakfast. The old days, we were just worried about whether the wolves were going to attack or be enough food for winter. People wouldn't get sick and die. Now we got so much time on our hands. We have militaries, we have cryptocurrencies, crypto this, secrets, secret machines, robots. We have all these things that are just way beyond any practical application and stupidity, like just because we can. Climb Mount Everest because we can, and now it's covered in feces and abandoned gear, if you can imagine. So of course, a certain part of anyone would love that to stop, to the point where a narcissist might want to become a fascist about it and kill the people who can't control themselves and are littering the world, or just whatever you want to say is worse. Right? Whether it's pollution or slavery, trafficking of people, to worse. Any acts of violence, breaking of trust is bad. All components of civilization. All for the almighty buck or dollar. And of course, most of us would secretly wish we could go back to just being farmers in the 1800s, now that we've seen the acid trip that Babylon, the civilization we've created really is, which is not terrible in itself, but absolutely mind-numbing. And it turns out in any other part of the world where there's no internet and fucking electricity, then you better be ready to kill a chicken and boil it and pluck its feathers if you want dinner, or fresh out of luck. The kind of the crisis we're up against is that we can't, in good conscience, foment a revolution against the powers to be, because we're not prone to violence. And it's spiritually tiring to beat someone at their own game of deception, which is pretty much modern day lawyering and all of that, and justice system and all of that is. Let's not say it's what it was based on, which would be the justice of God and all wisdom and all compassion and all fairness. It's easily manipulatable. can rewrite the history books just how you'd like. So you got to be careful because essentially, if you're not paying attention and staying aligned with goodness, happiness, helping, that which we might refer to as God, then you're allowing any other malign influence to take over your persona. And influence you by habit of copying, or whatever you want to call it. You just might not be representing the best in the best. England has it really tough right now. America might have it tough if they're not reporting on it.